What up, YouTube? YouTube! It's your brother, man, and friend, the Morris Trucker, man. Just a little information to help out uh, new drivers coming to Trans Am's early in the morning. Um, Relays, man. Listen, boy, I got a story for you. So, like a lot of this information, you're not going to get in orientation, which is why, I'm putting it out there so ones can navigate a little easier when they get here, right? So, last week, they sent me a relay talking about I'm not going to get there on time. Even though I know I was, I'm thinking, relay coming from the planet, that's coming from up top. As a lease driver, I'm thinking, that's something that's just got to be done, right? So I gets to the relay point and gets to that driver, get his load. When we switch trailers, switch paperwork, and I get back in my truck, I realize that this is now, mind you, this is Thursday, right? There was only 400 miles left in my load. I was finna rest for the day at that exact same truck stop anyway, and then run the last 400 miles to start the week Friday. So I get there and I look at his load. His load is 800 miles and it don't deliver to Monday, mind you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 4 days. You see what I'm saying? I got to sit on an 800-mile load, which leaves me 3 days to try to collect 22,000 miles or better. Because listen, as a lease driver, the only way you going to keep your head above water is to maximize 2,800 miles a week and not run more than 800 miles in fuel, not spend more than $800 in fuel. That's the only way you're going to be ahead. 2,800 is just to keep you above water. 3,000 is good. 3,000 plus is you okay. We talking new drivers. We not talking experienced motherfuckers been out here for years. But when you first coming into the business, if you come into Trans Am, I don't know about anywhere else. You need a minimum of 2,800 miles all the way up to 3,000 plus. 3,000 plus, you good. 2,800, you can survive. 3,000, you all right. You feel me? So back to this relay. So they send me this relay, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. So the night dispatch, and that's crazy, man, because I always had issues with night dispatch and weekends. I pray that I don't have to call them for anything. You draw, they really just don't care. At the end of the day, they have a lack of concern for drivers on nights and weekends. Well, not all of them, some of them, the ones I've spoken to, anyway. You draw. So she like, you need to take the. It was the 4th of July weekend. She like, you need to take this load because it's the weekend and there may not be no more loads till Monday. That's like forced dispatch. No, I'm not taking this load. I'm a lease driver, man. Why would y'all relay me a load for 800 miles that I got to sit on for 4 days? What? So she like, okay. So she like, man, I'm gonna ask you again. Are you sure you want to deny this load? Yeah. As soon as I do that, she hit me with a service failure, talking about I agreed to the relay and then decided not to deliver. I didn't even know what the relay was. I got a call telling me I wasn't gonna make it, even though I knew I was gonna make it. Later, I found out as a lease driver, you can turn down a relay. I didn't know that prior to this. This is what I'm saying, information that's not given to you in orientation. I didn't know nothing about it. I'm thinking the relay come from the top. It's something that got to be done. You draw? So, but I'm knowing I don't have to accept certain loads. So she like, you're not going to take this load? No. No, y'all act like, oh, well, we got into it. And I was like, I didn't know I could turn the relay down. Well, y'all act like we supposed to hold y'all hand. When you got your job, did they explain to you everything that was going on, or did you just come in knowing already? Like, they get highly offended when you the one losing money. So anyway, she like, all right, I'm gonna relay you tomorrow to New Haven, Indiana. I was in South Bend. She sent him, and she telling me I'm gonna get the load from that driver and drop it off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Cool. So the next day I get there, do what I'm supposed to do. I'm there, I'm waiting on the relay. My driving manager hit me like, hey, what are you doing? When did you get this load? Like they relayed me off of it, then turn around and tell me I should have turned it down. Now they relayed me a load. She was like, no, you're not finna get that load. That driver is already on his way to deliver that load. He not gonna make it to you to swap trailers till later that evening. So she sweet talked me like, you might as well go ahead and start heading toward Virginia because that's where it was going. Just start heading toward Virginia and we'll see if we can find somebody to take the load off you. It never happened. But, she talked me into it. You sit there all day or you can go get you some miles, right? But I knew it was a bad situation. So bad, let me tell you, when that check came in, guess what it was? $414. That's what I made that week. Why? Because I sat on the load for 800 miles trying to scramble, you draw. But then I realized something else. 2,400 miles is something that's been happening because the week before I had a $500 check. And then I just came off home time, so that check was only $92. So $92, $500, 400. It's like, man, who the fuck is on the other side of this demonstration that think I'm okay with 2,400 miles? I'm not doing it. But, they not going to admit in any way that it's their fault or something. They going to always tell you it's your fault, especially as a lease driver. Everything is your fault. You should have known this. You should have known that. And like I say, it's a garbage orientation because nobody explained how relays work or what do we have control over and what we don't have control over. You draw, like, I didn't know. And knowing is half the battle. You draw, what you don't know would definitely hurt you. So the following Friday again, and this one was a sweet because it was 1,500 miles. I got it on Thursday. That week, 2,300 again because at the beginning of the week I had an 1,800-mile run. They took it from me, talking about the customer pushed back the time. In my mind, I'm thinking they gave it to another driver. And then they turn around and give me an 1,100-mile run. As a lease driver, that's a problem because at $1.04 a mile, I just left 700 and some change out the door for a load that delivers at the exact same day. The 1,700, the 18, it was 200 to the shipper and it was 1,600 to the destination. Then they turn around and give me an 1,100-mile run that dropped off on the exact same day. You see what I'm saying? So basically, I lost $700 in that. So that was a $2,300 week. So when I got this 1,500-mile run on Thursday, I ran that 500 just to make that check 2,800 at least. Can't do another $400 or $500 check. Just it's bottoming out at this point. So I got another 1,000 miles, but in my mind, I'm good because this load delivers on Saturday. So I'm gonna start the week off with on Saturday with 1,000 miles. Ooh, you know how good that feels as a lease driver to have 1,000 miles in on Saturday. You feel me? So here we go again. Friday they calling. Don't look like you gonna make it. We finna relay it. No, go find the highest tree and climb it and jump off that demonstration. I'm not taking no relays. So boom. Then my driver manager called. This was first the planner called me. No. So then my driver manager called me like, hey, they don't think you're going to make it. I'm going to make it. She like, if you think you're going to make it, then go ahead. Because, I'm going off at this point. Like, why they always trying to take my loads? And then in my mind, they're giving them to other drivers. This is what I'm thinking. Because when I did that relay the first time, just think they keep saying I was going to be late. A company driver came to get the load and he taking his break at the same time I'm taking mine. And he's slower than me. Company drivers are governed at 62 miles an hour. Lease drivers, we governed at 64. So if I'm going to be late, he definitely going to be late, right? Then they later tell me his clock and miles, something was messed up and they was trying to fix it. So basically y'all fucked me to help him. I realized that. Now they going to keep saying that ain't what happened. But that's exactly what happened. So on this one, I'm like, why y'all steady trying to take my miles from me? Every time it looked like I could get 3,000 miles, y'all scramble me out, So she like, hey, listen, I ain't trying to take nothing from you. If you say you can make it, that's the end of that. Boom. Then the planner called again. No. Then the supervisor called. No. Then my driving manager called again, like, hey, we losing this battle. They keep saying you ain't gonna make it. I don't care what they say, I'm gonna make it. She like, all right, that's on you. If you say you can make it, then I'm gonna tell them that's what it is. Then another manager called me. Like, I've been watching this load for 2 days. You're not gonna make it. Listen, I'm gonna make it. Leave me alone. Quit trying to take my loads. Then y'all give me a load somewhere that's another driver don't want. No, we was giving you an empty trailer. We was sending you to Wisconsin and then up to New York. No, because then that means I'm only gonna get 1,100 miles by Monday. Either way, I'm being fucked. No, I'm taking this load. This load is gonna assist me in starting my week. Now, mind you, I did get there with 10 minutes to spare on my driving clock, literally. And normally, I wouldn't even take a risk like that. I try to be as early as I can and as close as I can to my receivers when I'm dropping the load so I don't have to scramble or worry about traffic accidents or something like that with 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and trying to get there on time. I try to be before time to be on time. But in this situation, I can't do another $400-500 check. That ain't what I came out here for. You can go to Family Dollar somewhere and make more money than that, and you ain't gonna even be working 7 days a week. You see? So here's the risk. And I'm knowing that because so many people called me and warned me I wasn't gonna get the load there on time, that if I'd have got the load there late, they'd have tried to terminate me. Now, service failure ain't really that bad. It'll hurt your bonus probably if you consistently get them, they'll fire you. But in my situation, you know the from the way I was getting the conversation, from the body language in their voices, if I'd have got that load late, they was gonna try to terminate me. Ain't nothing worse than a pre-warned fool. But the risk, terminate me, I get another job, because I put in my 2 week notice the week before because of that $800 relay. So it was no big deal. Snyder was asking for me, KLLM had asked for me. You see what I'm saying? I could have went to Express Cargo. It was people looking forward to me. They still looking to see when I'm coming, right? So the risk of them getting rid of me and a $400 check was a no-brainer. Do you hear me? And then guess what? The load after that was 1,700 miles, right? And I was able to do a 34-hour reset while taking that load in. So I got a fresh clock. I'm here at the receiver now. And then after this load, I got another 290, I believe, that picks up today, delivers today on Thursday. Feel me? 3,000 miles. Sweet. I did it, right? So my thing is with the relays, that was another problem. The driving manager I talked to at night tried to tell me that when they send the relay, because I'm like, I couldn't deny the load because I didn't know what it was. All I know is they told me it was a relay. I didn't get the information until I got there. So that's why I denied the load. Well, you should have called us and asked us where the load was going. So when y'all come in, they try to relay you and tell you you ain't got enough time, and for a fact you do the math. If the new load is not going to be about the same or better your situation, don't take it, because they're trying to help another driver. Flat out, point blank. They're trying to help another driver. You see what I'm saying? And it hurts you. Feel me? And like I say, nobody never tried to help me in a bad situation when my time was up, or I had short miles or something. Feel me? So, and I get different drivers been here longer. They have different situations, different relationships with whoever. But at the same time, I'm a lease driver. No disrespect to the company drivers, but they not paying for fuel. They not paying $1,000 a week note with insurance. You feel me? It's $745 because I got the lifestyle, and then the rest of it comes out to insurance, and then they take 5 cents a mile, and you know what I mean. So I'm at $1,000 plus fuel. So I'm at $1,800 every week. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta think 1,800 miles ain't even yours. So you gotta run at least another 12 to have a decent check. Easy. Or at least another 8 You see what I'm saying? Or another 10, I mean, another 1,000 miles. So you got to be at 28 to 3 every week to be successful in leasing. And you have to stand up on your shit. See, my problem was I kept saying, next week gonna be better. Next week gonna be better. I kept feeding myself that win and wasn't getting fooled. You draw. Now I'm standing on their necks. I'm not taking this. I'm not taking no more short 700-mile run. None of that. Because in the beginning, I was thinking, well, it's a $500 bonus if you don't turn down loads. That's another thing. They never explain how to turn down loads. If when you get to the receiver and while you still under a load, put your pre-plan in. Because while you still loaded, you can turn down that dispatch load. But if you put in your empty call and they dispatch you and you deny it, that hurt that bonus. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of information that would have helped one be successful out here and understand what it is they need to do that they not giving us. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm just trying to help you guys out, man. Give you the game as it come to me. So when you come here, you go lease. You see what I'm saying? You can already know what's coming and have an idea on how to deal with it. You know what I mean? Because I run my ass off. Even at 2,300 miles, man, it should be no reason you should be working for under $800-900. I don't care where you at. That's a lot of stress on you, man. That's a lot of work to do. Yeah, it's driving, but you got to watch traffic. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure, you keep the product intact. It's a responsibility that you're taking on and you're ensuring. Like I say, I get my product there early. You know what I'm saying? It's always intact. I ain't bumping in this shit. You feel me? I'm making sure Trans Am makes money, Lease One makes money, the shipper and receiver makes money, the fuel stations make money. How is it that I ain't making no money? And I'm the good guy in the situation. I'm doing all the driving. So those relays, make sure that when they try to tell you out of time, if you know for a fact that you can make it on time, and then that second relay, make sure you get the information on if it's not going to assist you or if it's going to put you in a worse situation. Tell them no, 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 I don't care. Like I said, they called me all day Thursday and Friday and into Saturday. Within an hour of me getting to the location, they still talking about it's looking ugly. Yeah, I got there with 10 minutes to spare. I got there, hurry up, let the lady know I was against the clock, got into a dock, went into off duty, and then I PC'd for parking and took my 10-hour break. Bam, I was back in the money. You see what I'm saying? Like I say, the load after that was 1,700 miles. And another thing that you also want to ask is how heavy is the load? Because this was the first time in a long time I had a load that was 3,500 pounds. No, 2,700 pounds. I'm sorry. That was this load. And usually I run from Colorado to Minnesota. Anywhere off and in between any of those states, Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, uh, New York, Baltimore, uh, Jersey, anywhere up in there, I'm always running up 70, 80, 35. I go to Texas here and there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always heavy, 40,000 plus, 44, 40, and going up them hills, man, you only doing 45. It's stress on your truck, and that's your fuel. That's money out your pocket. This was a light load going into the mountains. I was shooting up the mountains at 57, 58 miles an hour, first time in forever. You draw? So I also would have gave the driver a lighter load. I would have gave him 500 miles to the good, and he would have had a 1,700-mile run coming directly after that for me to take the relay. And I wouldn't have got 1,000 miles until Monday. This situation, I got 1,000 miles on Saturday. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I cut it close, 10 minutes, and they definitely probably would have had to fire me if an accident or traffic or something would have slowed me up. I'd have went into PC. So, because I'm definitely not taking a DOT violation. So, either way, it was a risk, and it's a risk I'm not normally into taking. But at this point, I can't take another $400-500 check. I done just took two in a row. And the only reason I wasn't running around pulling my hair out, kicking on shit for that $400 check is because my last sign-on bonus came in at the same time, that 625. So that made that check $1,000. Boy, the creator was looking out for the kid on that one. You feel me? Because I was finna have to call my bill collectors with some sob stories. You know what I mean? Some unbelievable shit. I can't tell them the truth because that ain't gonna even make sense. It didn't even make sense to me. You draw? So if you want to be successful out here when you come to Trans Am, put your mind on. I have to run a minimum of 2,800 miles. Now, your first 2 weeks, get your don't break yourself because those lease payments are free. You only gonna pay for the insurance, a couple of $100. So you can kind of get a feel for the truck, get a feel for how things are going, and not break your neck immediately. You can kind of ease yourself into it because I first got out here, boy. I was onto this wheel like 40 going north, going through construction zones. Man, it's something about going through where they narrow it down to them concrete barriers. Woo! That shit was nerve wracking my first week. Oh man, construction was the worst thing for me. And then I finally got used to the truck, how the truck rolls and things like that. And now it's easier for me to navigate. But, in the beginning, man, like, it seemed like I couldn't keep this boy straight for nothing in the world that first week. Like, what's going on? Because you're just not used to the truck. You draw, you know what I'm saying? So, take your time the first couple of weeks. But after that, play no games, and they're gonna keep telling you as a lease driver, you have control. Take that control, man. Because see, I try to deny loads and ain't no other loads coming, this that. That's like a forced dispatch, man. Find me another load. You draw. Don't weaken yourself, because later when you complain about it, like, man, I ain't getting no miles where you took this load, now you didn't have to take them. That piss you off even more when somebody tell you, you could have did something different. So okay, so now things are doing different, and I only have 6 weeks left in this lease. You draw, and I'm mad consistent mentally with trying to reach that, because I have 3 escrows, two for 500, one for 600, and they give you 3 cents out of the 5 cent they take from you back a mile. So I'm looking at, damn near 3 bands back when I turn the truck in. And make sure when you get in the truck, you call roadside assistance the day you get the truck, and ask them what PMs, your preventive maintenance, what's coming up, because you're going to be responsible for this. Now, they're going to say they're going to prorate it, but basically you're going to be paying for what another driver drove. They say they prorated, but for me, I still wasn't happy with the price. So I got 1,000 in my maintenance account. A rock hit my windshield from a dump truck. I'm gonna get that replaced. Since it's not a DOT violation, I'm gonna wait till I do my home time that way I ain't missing no money. I'm gonna wait till I go on home to get that fixed. And the only PM I have next coming up is an oil change for the life of this lease. I ain't hit nothing, I ain't bumped nothing. You draw. So yeah, they back there shaking it. So you see what I'm saying? I'm in a real good situation as far as, I don't know how the tires gonna go, because when I got the truck, the tires were new. They still in good shape now. But if there's anyone out there who completed a lease, a 6-month lease with Trans Am already, give me an idea on what type of fees they toss in as far as when you walk in, when you done with the lease. Because the tires is the only thing I'm worried about. The truck is in the same condition it was when I got it. All my PMs except the oil change, and I got to get this windshield fixed. I'm at 1,000 plus. By the time I go home and do my home time, I should be damn near at 1,300 in my maintenance account. So I should be able to knock them two things out and still have change left over in my maintenance account. So I would like to know how the tires do, if there's anyone out there that knows. Because they told me, no, it's just as long as you bring the truck back the way you took it off. I'm thinking there's something else there. You draw, and I don't want to puff myself up and then get there and they let the air out me, and then I'm going to be mad. But yeah, just a little bit of information on how these relays go, and just how you got to what mileage you need to be successful. Definitely pay attention to your fuel. That's a major point. And the fuel is not too bad. Like if I fill up for $300, if you paid a little $3 a week for the fuel optimization, if I pay 300 in fuel, it'll only be $200 about time, you know, it come out on my settlement. So anywhere between $80 and $100 a fill up you can save. I don't really see much discount when you're only getting 30, 40 gallons here, there, just enough to get you. Because see what I do on Fridays, I fill up. The rest of the week, I only put enough fuel in the truck to get where I'm going. You see what I'm saying? Like now, I'm at a quarter tank, and I'm gonna try to use that quarter tank to run these other 300 to get to the next shipper and get to the next receiver. If not, I may put another $20 in there just to be okay. But I don't plan on filling it up until tomorrow. I'm good on death. So yeah, I see people out here say, "Oh, it's your DM." DM gonna tell you it's the planet. Planet gonna tell you it's you. You, so want to help ones navigate and probably not go through the headaches I went through, and definitely don't break down. Oh shit! Put a little money when you get those checks. Put $50 to $75 to the side in case you break down, because you're gonna be responsible for your own hotel. Okay, and that was something that also should have been explained in orientation. That wasn't. So all in all, Trans Am, I'm wait till next month to really do my final 5th month review, right? But you can get the miles. They'll run you. You can make the money. But it's so much bullshit in between getting you to those miles that make it hard to really stomach here, man. Don't be no lazy ass. Don't, what I mean, be out here bumping in this shit. Don't have damaged product and things like that. Definitely don't be late. But stand on your driving manager for your miles, because I understood in the first couple of months that I have to build a report, show them that I'm trustworthy, to be honored with long hauls and priority loads, man, so I can get my miles right. But if you don't say nothing, they won't say nothing. And that's what's been the trend. Right after I started going off and I put in my 2-week notice, now I'm getting more miles to where I can damn near, pardon the body, damn near meet my goal of 3,000 miles. 2,800 at a minimum. Can't be 27 and some change. It's got to be 2,800 and a couple of some change. So, come in with your head in the game, thinking about that 2,800 miles. Don't let them bullshit you, and don't play nice. That's the problem. I was playing nice, like, oh, I'll take this load, no problem. Just like with that 800-mile load, they like, we need you to drop this load off. We couldn't find nobody to relay it off you. I'm thinking they gonna reach for me later on down the line. Yeah, they did. They gave me that $400 check. You see what I'm saying? Like, so doing them favors doesn't do you any favors. Don't expect it. And this was my last bonus, but now they got it to where after your last bonus, they'll give you another $125 for every month you stay on. It's not a lot of money, but it'll buy a few groceries. So, I hope it's helpful. If there's anything you need to know that I haven't touched on, because I'm just, as I get into situations, I'm giving it to y'all. So if y'all ever find yourself in those situations, or you can avoid it before you reach those situations, you know what I mean, you have a few keys to demonstrate off of. But that's about it, man. Like I say, if there's anybody that's completed a 6-month lease with them already, if they could give me a handle on what other type of fees they try to toss in to keep you from walking away with all that money. Peace and love.